We're back! Haha. So I don't know what the heck happened. Uh, something not good happened in every. Okay, why are the windows doing this? Bestie, is the server kind of bugging for you too?
Yeah.
Like everything's just kind of like swappy swappy?
And also because I've Optifine turned off.
No, mine's going kind of weird too. It's like the windows are kind of like shifting. Should I restart the server?
Um, yeah, I think you should.
Yeah, okay. Holy fudging crap. Um, please stand by, you guys. If you would like to, say some stuff in chat. Let me chat with you. Because, holy fudge the. Okay. Uh, no one's viewing, but you know. Busty, what should we talk about? Busty? Hello? Are you alive?
Sorry, I was on mute. I just realized.
Oh. I'm restarting the Minecraft server. Yeah, this
Okay,
is.
is it back online?
No. This is going just swimmingly. Hello, one viewer. You should say something in chat so I have something to do while this frickin' servers. Oh, if you didn't catch it, because, I had to stop streaming for like 2 seconds because my recording software was glitching. It might have just been Minecraft that was glitching because the server started bugging like a bunch. So now I'm restarting it and I really hope everything's okay. Um,
Yeah.
if not, then I. Okay, it's online. Now I need to reboot up Minecraft because then everything was bugging. Like, what is wrong with Minecraft? Like, seriously. Like, the Sims stream worked fine. There were no errors whatsoever. But the last two Minecraft streams we did, the first one, I had to end it early because, like, it was freaking, like, dying. And then the last Minecraft stream I had to end early because, why did I have to end it early? Because everything, my stream was glitching. But then yesterday when I streamed The Sims, it was working swimmingly. It was there was nothing wrong with it. Everything was working perfectly. I hate this. Why does why does it hate me so much? Why does my stream hate Minecraft so much? And the thing is, I've played Minecraft like alone. Or not alone, but like not streaming. Me and Acorn have. But, you know, when it works. Okay, it's working for me. Um,
The server? Yeah, I'm on it right now.
yeah, same. We're good.
Here for you guys.
Okay. I need to find a skeleton so I can block a projectile. Also, I suck at combat in Minecraft. Like, that's the thing I'm worst at. Ooh. Skeletoin. Skeletoin. Hi. Hi, is that Skelly? Ow! Shit. Ah, suck it. Suck it. Ah, suck it. Now I'm gonna go. What?
Oh my god, I'm so done.
Skeleton, stop killing me! Stop it! I have a bone. Oh, skeleton, you think you're gonna kill me? Idiot! He's like, dang, where's that raisin bow fella? I'm in here, you dumbass.
So mean.
The skeleton tried to kill me!
That's what it's programmed to do.
Shut up. But luckily, I got that achievement. Now I need diamonds. And obsidian. And then I gotta build light and enter another portal. And enchant an item.
That's unfair.
I'm sorry. Is it because of your opti? It's because of your, not op-defining. Okay, well, so there's obviously the Minecraft, which is about this, but I can do this part, you know? Okay, I've tamed an... Oh my gosh. Be our guest. Use a campfire to collect honey? Ooh. Using a glass bottle without aggravating the bees. I can do that. Right? I just need to craft a campfire. I don't know how to do that, but I'll figure it out. I also need glass. Okay. Stick, charcoal, dark oak wood. Or just any stripe. Any wood, 3 sticks and coal. Okay, I can do that. I've got this. I've got this. Bessie, are you also gonna try and complete all the achievements, or is that just me?
I don't know.
Okay.
I might just,
Okay, that's valid. I want to because I suck at this game and I'm like, it'll be a challenge if I actually have to do this stuff. But the thing is, for the next few things like getting diamonds and getting obsidian, I don't want to cheat. I don't want to just have you do it, and I don't want to just like enter the nether, go out of the nether, have acorn. You know, I gotta be independent. I gotta be independent, man. Oh, another thing, bestie. So, bestie. So I think I'm gonna have to be the one to kill the ender dragon, because one of the achievements is killing the ender dragon. So one of the achievements is killing the ender dragon, and I can't get it. I can't get that achievement unless I kill the ender dragon.
really?
That is literally, I promise you that's one of the achievements.
Is that how that works?
There's literally one of the, like here, Minecraft achievements.
Oh yeah, you can kill it.
Thank you. Cause literally, like,
I might just like revive it now. Just so I can kill it.
you can do that? Am I stupid? How do you revive the freaking ender dragon? Okay, I'm
There's
just...
no way there's not any diamonds down here. Like, this is a diamond cave.
Please help us personalize your... I don't care if I'm a freaking kid or adult. Screw you, Wiki. Fandom fricker.
What did Wiki do to you, bro?
Freaking asked if I was a kid or an adult and didn't let me continue until I answered that stupid question. Sorry guys, I'm in a bit of a salty mood this morning.
You're not morning,
Shut up. Just I really, dog, you don't get my bone. You don't get my bone. I'm sorry, you sweet. Here, dog, you can just like, you can vibe. You can do whatever the frick you want. I honestly, I don't care, dog. But maybe I should get hold the actual frickin' phone. I'm good at this game. And by I'm good at this game, I mean I am good at the, what part am I good at? Such a hard question to answer, you guys. Screw you, you
that was scary.
stupid
Oh my god.
freaking skeleton. Did I ask if you wanted to murder me? No. So stop murdering me! Ha! Loser! Thank you, dog. You're very helpful and I love you. Just like, yeah, I know I am.
Just killed a bat.
You just killed a bat. Are you feeling good?
I'm gonna get redstone.
Okay. You see, guys, I got this bucket of water that I stole from the furnace. It had lava in it, but now that the lava's gone, I have an empty bucket.
What? You heard the bucket?
I'm getting water for my garden!
Your garden? You're making a garden?
Yes! Not a garden, a farming, like, with wheat. Like,
Okay.
jeez. Louise, you frickin'... Why did I do that? I'm, like, gonna die idiotically one of these days.
I thought you already did that, like a bunch.
Shut up. And you haven't died like a million times to the warden? And gotten super upset about it?
Not in this world, not in this world.
Yeah, because you're too afraid to go up against it. You're just ignoring fudge. You're just ignoring me. Also,
I'm not ignoring you.
I talked to you and you just like didn't respond. I thought I got you mad.
I didn't hear you.
Okay, I'm sorry. I thought you were upset because I said something about you that I can't even recall right now because I'm like.
There's no diamonds.
There's no diamonds. I must get all the achievements. I can't not get all the achievements. That's my sole goal. My life will be completed when I get all the achievements. Actually, my life won't be completed. My life will be completed when I can get all the achievements without having to, like, steal from Acorn and, like, you know, the...
Yeah, that would be really nice.
Well, I don't mean stealing, but just, like, with your help, when I can do it solo.
Stealing with my help.
Shut the fuck up. Sorry, I love you. I have no idea how long I've been streaming, just because... What?
More lava.
No, lava, pants on lava. My dog's just following me to the water and to the not water. What the my dog's just running back and forth with me. Because my dog is loyal AF. I love my doggy. My real life doggy and Goose. Like, we love Goose, you guys. Goose is a loyal best friend who would never hurt me. And it was so cute. If you weren't here the last Minecraft stream, you know, I got murdered by a skeleton. Isn't that so surprising that I got murdered? And like, spawn's really close to our house, and so I respawned because, like, we didn't have our beds yet. And Goose, like, I came back and Goose was just, like, killing the monster who attacked me. So sweet. Minecraft dogs, they're pog. What?
Nothing.
Okay.
Oh, there's so many skeletons.
Oh, if you kill them, get me bones so I can tame new dogs, please.
Oh, there was a cave noise. I hate cave noises.
Okay, guys. That part of our farm is finished. Are you proud of me? You should be. Unless you don't want it. I asked my viewers, not you.
Oh, I answered these.
Okay, well, good for you. We're friends, guys. We are. We really, truly are. We're bantering. We're friendly bantering, okay? Shit. Huh. Shrimp. Yes, shrimp. I hate shrimp, honestly. I don't like shrimp. It does not taste good. Hello, my doggy.
Oh my god, there's so many skeletons.
Jack Skellington, you know, from the frickin'
Is this an amethyst? Oh my god.
from the what's it called? The Nightmare Before Frickin' Christmas. Whee! See? I did so. Frick this.
I found an amethyst.
Good for you, bestie. We love that.
Wait, we can make a spyglass now because we have
The amethyst.
thingy.
What?
Copper.
Yeah, the copper. Okay, this is all my farm for now, and then I'll obviously get more seeds, and then we can make a little chickens farm, and then a cow farm, and then a sheep farm, and then when we find carrots, we can make a little pig farm, and befriend a little pig, and have our pet pig,
We're not getting a pet.
Why?
That's like, we do that in every single round.
But Snuffles, we gotta make Snuffles number, like, 2.
Didn't Snuffles, like, have a kid with his parents or something?
Shut up. Look,
Yeah, like,
okay. You guys,
so,
there.
Raisin was trying to, like, feed the pig. And she, like, oh my god. Like, I don't know. It was weird.
Okay, so what I was trying to do is I was trying to feed the pigs. You know, like you do. I was trying to be a good pet parent. And then, my brain forgot that, hey, feeding 2 pigs equals breeding them.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Sugar. Sugar, butter, flour, sugar, butter, flour. What's inside? Simple questions. What's inside?
Skeletons.
Sugar, butter, flour. What a mess we're making. Anyways, so funny, you guys. I promise I am. Okay, what was that? I needed. What did I need? Well, I do need glass. I need glass so I can get a bottle. I also need charcoal. You look.
Wait, you need charcoal?
Yes.
Why?
To make a campfire.
Oh.
What if I just drowned? That would be kind of fun.
It'll be hilarious.
You know what? Shut up. No one asked. Sorry.
You kind of did.
I literally. Look. I'm sorry. Also, I love you, bestie.
I just tried to hit a nigga with a shovel.
Bestie, I hate to fudging heck. Why does the frickin' tide? Why does the tide exist in Minecraft? Like, oh gosh. Hi, Goose. Bro, Goose scared me to death. I thought Goose was a frickin' drowned. Oh my gosh, Goose, you scared me. Okay, everything's fine, y'all. Everything
Oh my god,
is pristine. What? Ah, snap-a-doodle-doo. Okay. Are you sure about that? Busty, we should make like an XP farm or something. What do you want, dog? Are you stuck outside? Then come in! Why does my dog always just decides to, like, be outside? Watch me turn around and he's there. Nope, that did not happen. That is good. Also, bestie.
Alright, I'm heading back.
Okay, also just a reminder, if you attack me, my dog will come after you, so...
Oh, that's scary.
Also, when I have a dog army, all of them will come after you, so...
Why do you need 100 dogs?
Because I feel like it, okay? Does
Okay,
that...
well, they're not staying in the house.
Fine. Frickin'...
I'm okay with, like, 3 in the house, but, like, 100?
Fine, I'll keep them in my secret base. That you could find where my secret base is by going on my stream, but you know that...
Wait, you have a secret base?
No. Not yet, at least.
Okay. Hello.
Hi. I'm getting glass. Me and my little
Let's see if I can make
British...
a bow.
Okay. I have an arrow.
I know, I need 3. Do you have string?
No. Isn't there string in the chest?
There was only, like, I don't think so. No.
Okay.
Oh, I'm gonna make a spyglass.
Ooh, yes, let's go. Sorry.
It's kind of useless though, because I really have film. I'm looking at you.
Okay. Okay, do you have charcoal?
Okay, guys, you wanna know a secret? If you zoom in and then, or if you use the spyglass and then press F1, there's no overlay.
If you press F1 like at all, if you press F1 like at all, there's no overlay for like anything. Doggy! No! Goose, get back here! It's not dangerous for a doggy out here at night. Or me out there at night, because I suck at this game. Like, mom. Goose! Goose! Come on! Get in here! Get in here, you little... Goose! You... Goose! Goosey! Goose! Come on! Come on! Follow me in! Goose, where the frick are you? Come on! Come on! Come on! Goose! I swear, this dog... Bestie, do you have any steak?
No, I ate it all.
I'm on 4 hunger bars.
You know what I do have though?
What?
A stone shovel. Just for you.
Goose! Oh my gosh, this dog. Good for you, Goose. You know what? Good for you. Bro, I think I'm gonna end the stream at 4 because I have a place to be. So I'll stream for like 9 more minutes.
Me too.
Slay. What? So.
Oh, your dog's fighting skeleton inside.
Please don't die, Goose. Goose, Goose, Goose. If Goose dies.
Goose is a little, like, he's a little savage.
Goose.
He will
Is
fight.
that a creeper? No, that's a skeleton. Jack Skellington.
Skeleton?
Like, you know Jack Skellington? Bro, you freaking monster. Why is he just like... Ha! Thank you, Goose. You're the best. I love you. Goose is like, I know. Also, I'm about to die. Kind of.
It's some food then.
I don't have any food!
There's some salmon in the chest.
Salmon is not enough to fill me.
Look, you gotta cook it first.
Oh.
You don't eat raw fish.
Okay, well, I thought you were... Hey, Goose.
What? Oh. Oh my god.
No, Goose, get back here! I love you, bestie.
Bro, get your dog, bro.
Bring him to the house and I will get him.
He is gonna kill me.
Well, I don't want to go outside.
On the roof.
Goose. But there's a baby zombie. There's a freaking baby zombie, and I don't want Goose to die.
Come out here then.
What am I meant to do? Goose, come on. Come on here, Goose. Okay, good Goosey. Goose, I don't think... Okay, bestie, I sat Goose down. Ah!
Ew, the lag is impossible.
Oh, frickadoodle.
Ow, ow.
Hey, can I have some of that food? Thank you.
Maybe he'll love me now.
Let's see.
No!
Goose!
Down!
Goose! Goose! Get over here!
Down!
sorry, Goose. I love you. I love you. But Goose, I know I punched, so I know I punched Acorn, but that doesn't mean you gotta punch Acorn too. It was a friendly punch.
Did you just hit me again?
I was explaining to Goose what a friendly punch was. Hi. Screw you!
What do you mean, screw me? He attacked me.
Well,
You're the one that also hit him. Like, what?
I was trying to set him down, but he was like running around.
You're just slow.
You're a jerk. I love you. You may be a bully, but I love you.
I'm going fishing.
Okay. My garden's not grown, so I don't know what to do with my life. Bestie, what if I sat next to you?
As long as you don't bring that damn dog, then yeah, you're good.
If I unsat the dog would be like murdering you right now.
Yeah.
Here, Bestie.
This is annoying me. This is pissing me off.
The fishing?
No, the water, it's messed up. It's making me mad.
Cause like right here, it's like a freaking.
Yeah, wait, like.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I got a Twitch notification. Bad Boy Halo is live. Interesting, discovery. I'm gonna go get another dog. Cause now I have 4 bones, which hopefully means I can tame a dog. We're crossing our fingers, you guys. I need to.
I'm so scared.
Why?
Because when are you gonna hit me?
Okay, look.
Or I'm gonna hit you.
Yeah, one day we're just gonna be. Please, doggy. If it makes you feel. No, I'm so sorry. Please, 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 please.
What is going on?
Shut up. Shut up. Shut up. Shut up.
Why? Why'd you get killed by it?
I meant to give it a bone, but I accidentally hit it.
You were evil.
I didn't mean to!
Oh my god. I got a bone.
Can you give it to me, please? Thank you.
I have no use for that.
Yeah, because you don't want to make a dog army. Well, like. Look, it's not my fault, like, the right and left thingy are so close together. They're like, oh, hi, you're a totally new person. Hey, I tamed it! Yes! I love you forever. Maybe. You? How about you?
How are you gonna tell the two apart?
I have 3 now!
Oh my god.
You see,
You
one.
should get, dye and color their.
That's what I'm gonna do. But you see, one day when I take over the world, like, my dog army will help me take over the world.
Oh my god, I'm so scared.
Why? Just because some dogs are gonna take over the world?
No, because there are dogs in our house.
You said 3 was a max. There are 3 of them.
Okay, alright, that's it then.
Yeah, I know, but then I'll build my secret
Keep
army.
that in the house, but then no
What?
more.
Well, look, because the thing is.
Oh, I got a tropical fish.
Okay. Let's see. I need a yellow flower. Or just there's any other color flower. I just need, because I need 2 colors. That's it. I should probably stop streaming, but also at the same time I don't want to, but at the same time I have to leave. So,
Yeah, I think I might end second here.
So yeah, thank you for watching my stream, everybody. Next episode, this isn't in a TV series, but you know what I mean. Next stream, I will continue my conquest on making a dog army and definitely not taking over the world. Because I would never take over the world. Never, ever, ever. Oh, hello. There you go. Okay, I have 2 dogs with 2 different things. So now I just need 1 more. Bessie, do you know when you found the yellow dye for my bed? Are you deafened? What? Esty? Hello? Do you know where you found the yellow dye for my bed?
Just like flowers everywhere.
Well, I know that, but I can only find like 2 color flowers. Okay, whatever. I'm gonna definitely do my outro, so yeah. Okay, thank you everyone for tuning into my stream. I hope you enjoyed. Next time, like I said, I will continue my conquest to definitely not take over the world. I would never take over the world, especially not with a dog army. But thank you for joining. If you enjoyed and are not following me, hit that follow button. If you are following me, introduce me to your friends. It really helps. But I will see you all in the next stream. Goodbye, bye, my friends, and also random strangers on the internet.